we prepared a short video aiming to give relevant information and awareness about how biogeochemical cycles work and why it matters. In addition to that, it will also include a brief discussion of anthropogenic effects, invasive species, and epigenetics. This is titled Invasive Species. The first part talks about the biogeochemical cycle, which will be tackled by Ms. Cancio. The anthropogenic effects will be explained by Mr. Abduhan and Ms. Ruelas. Lastly, the invasive species and epigenetics will be discussed by Mr. Baladan, Mr. C, Ms. Veray, and Ms. Williamine. I hope you guys will learn much after watching this video.
Water, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur cycles are all vital biogeochemical cycles for living organisms. So what is the importance of biochemical cycle? On Earth, matter is preserved and exists in a form of atoms. Because matter cannot be generated or destroyed, it is recycled in numerous ways through the Earth system. Did you know, while carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen are abundant in a human body, their occurrences on Earth elemental mass are the modest. This feature may enable you to comprehend the significance of biogeochemical cycle, but consider this. Constitute a small portion of the Earth known as mass. If you are wondering what do you mean by biogeochemical cycle, a brief discussion by Ms. Jenny on those may help you understand.
Water. Why does it matter? Water is important for all living organisms. According to an article from OpenStax College, most of the Earth's surface covers salt water found in oceans. It covers 97.5% of the Earth's surface. More than 99% is in the form of groundwater or ice, and less than 1% is found in fresh water in our lakes, rivers, and other available surface forms. As humans, our bodies need enough fresh water to survive. We of course have developed technologies that increase available fresh water. These include digging deep holes to get groundwater, collecting rainwater, and using desalination, the process of removing salt water, to get fresh water from the ocean. Water, as shown, circulates between the Earth and its atmosphere, evaporating, transpiring, condensing, and precipitating.
Dams have been a major factor in disrupting the water cycle for hundreds of years. They have been used for hydroelectricity, irrigation, and other human activities, which can have major impacts on the water cycle. Dams are known to cause considerable harm to rivers, depleting fisheries, degrading river ecosystems, and altering recreational opportunities. As human activity has increased over time, it has become more and more difficult for rivers to maintain homeostasis. Deforestation can significantly alter the transpiration process, which is a vital part of the water cycle, by decreasing the amount of moisture that is released from the stress. This can lead to decreased precipitation, changes in river flow and water volume, and a disruption of the cycle.
Pollution and urban growth also create anthropogenic effects on the water cycle. Pollution contaminates water sources and disrupts the natural filtration process. Air pollution causes acid rain, which damages plant life. It can also cause erosion. Soil pollution results in less water availability for plants as polluted soil absorbs less water. It leads to drought conditions. Water pollution is the most dangerous as it reduces the safe water for living organisms. Most importantly, it reduces the amount of water that can be evaporated, making water bodies unsuitable for recreation. Lastly, urban growth creates an impervious ground surface, decreasing the water that soaks into the ground. Impermeable areas accumulate storm water on the ground, leading to flooding, which disrupts the water cycle.
When species are introduced to a different environment, they are called introduced or exotic species. They may provide a function or benefit such as pest control or decoration, or are simply harmless. However, this becomes an issue when they outcompete species already inhabiting a said environment. They become invasive species when the intentionally or unintentionally introduced species threaten the local ecosystem and grow uncontrollably. Typically, marine cases stem from wildlife sneaking or clinging onto ships, getting transported to new areas and disrupting the existing ecosystem. One notable example of this is when zebra mussels which are not native to northern and eastern Europe and the eastern US, got transported via cargo ships, causing obstruction of beaches, pipes, and irrigations, damaging human structures and altering habitats and food webs, disrupting the local ecosystem.
So what are the effects of these so-called invasive species? As mentioned, it interferes with the ecosystem and disturbs other species in the habitat, affecting our biodiversity. The common effects include the overpowered native species, the disturbed habitats, and the disturbed human activities. Another example of this is the water hyacinths in Lake Victoria, which outgrew all the other plants nearby and prevented them from growing. It also hindered the water flow needed by the power plants nearby. The solution to eradicating native species can take a lot of time and money. That is why we should prevent rather than create a solution. The prevention of native species can be done by regularly doing both maintenance and cleaning the equipment used for fishing and diving. We can also join or create in conservation activities such as reef surveying and community education so that others are well educated about this matter.
So what is epigenetics? Epigenetics is the study of how our behavior and environment can cause changes that affect how our genes work. Different epigenetic modification influences gene expression. DNA methylation, histone modification, and non-coded RNA are all examples of epigenetic alterations. So how does it affect us? Several lifestyle factors have been identified that might modify epigenetic patterns such as physical activities, obesity, diet, psychological stress, and environmental pollutants, and as such.
Different exposures of different factors in our environment. So that involves water, such as the water that we drink, the water that we come contact into, and the water in our environment. Water due to disturbance of the water cycle, through climate change, causing water deficient environments, toxics or substances such as arsenic or hydrogen sulfide that shouldn't be there or are too much of can affect our gene expression. Examples of these phenomena are from researchers of epigenetics through their relation to their water diet or environment of plants, animals, and humans. These contaminations can affect the future generations and can be inherited and last for future generations.
That was a lot. It is great that you already know how the biogeochemical cycle works, the anthropogenic effects, as well as what invasive species and epigenetics are. Thank you for watching.